2 days after water, mud and rock tore through the Nepal-Tibet border, attention has shifted to barrier lakes reported on both sides, raising fears of fresh floods. Now, on Nepal's side, officials say that debris at the flood site was holding back rising water. Today, the lake had broken into banks and its Bhote Koshi river was rising. Rescue flights paused for 90 minutes, then resumed. Now, across the border, the lake near Gyirong topped 2.5 million cubic meters of water, which is about 1,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Authorities had warned that the risk of a breach is high, even as China says it was draining naturally with more water flowing out than in. But risk remains, and a sudden release would enter the same river system hit on Wednesday. CNA's Grace Shin has more on how all of that unfolded.
This is the area we're talking about high up in the Himalayas along the Nepal-Tibet border. The disaster began when an enormous section of glacier, ice, and rock broke away and crashed into the valley below. The collapse sent a massive debris towards the Lende Khola river system. The debris is believed to have temporarily blocked the river, creating a natural dam. Water started building up behind it. Minute by minute, pressure on the unstable blockage increased. Then the barrier gave way. A powerful surge of water, mud, and rock raced downstream, destroying roads and bridges, smashing through settlements. The flood traveled through the river system towards communities further inside Nepal. Scientists are still examining exactly how that collapse developed into such a large flood. We'll get a better understanding of the scale of the disaster as rescue and recovery teams reach isolated communities.
Meanwhile, satellite images show what the footprint left behind. Before, a narrow channel, roads and riverside land. After, broad fields of mud and sediment. Now, the flood did not simply pass through this landscape, it altered the river corridor itself, and that corridor remains under watch as water drains downstream. And higher up, another change has been unfolding over decades. Scientists cannot yet attribute climate change as the reason behind this particular event, but the frozen landscape around it is changing rapidly. The Hindu Kush Himalaya is the vast mountain system that includes the Himalayas and stretches across 8 countries. The International Center for Integrated Mountain Development says that glaciers across the Hindu Kush Himalaya lost about 12% of their area between 1990 and 2020. It also found that monitored rates of ice loss have roughly doubled since 2000. Now, as the ice retreats, scientists are tracking a more complicated mix of hazards. Lakes can grow, frozen ground can thaw, mountain slopes can change, and an event high above can become a flood emergency far downstream within hours.